Hi everyone, we're going to do 30 minutes of some inversions, preparations, and a couple of standing poses. So come onto all fours, please. And as you come onto all fours, press the hands into your mat and push the floor away. Feel as though you're telescoping the arms up into the shoulders. Really feel like you're pushing the floor away. Lift the belly slightly towards the spine. Now from there, reach the legs back, tucking the toes under, lift the lower belly slightly towards the spine and push the floor away. Feel as though you're not sinking into the floor, but you're pushing the floor away. And then bend the knees. And try that again. Push the floor away. Don't sink the shoulders to the floor, push the floor away, elongate the arms up to the shoulders. Lift the belly towards the spine, tuck the toes under into plank, come into that diagonal position with the body, shoulders over the wrists, lift the belly towards the spine and push the floor away. Lift the front thighs up, bend the knees to the floor. Now sit back just on the heels in Vajrasana. If you struggle with sitting back on the heels this way, excuse me, take a blanket and you might fold that blanket that comes off the shelf looking like this, fold it into 3, or the equivalent at home, obviously, something fairly thick if you've got issues with your knees, so that you're sitting with the blanket between the buttocks and the heels. And then from there, bring the belly back towards the spine, clasp your fingers, press your hands forwards, draw the elbows in towards each other and raise the arms up. Really lift. The buttocks are going down, but the side chest is going up. Lift up through the ribs strongly. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Don't let the belly push forwards, bring the belly back towards your spine. Exhale to bring the hands down to eye height. Turn the palms towards you. Change the cross of the fingers so the other little finger is at the bottom. Press the hands forwards, draw the elbows in towards each other and raise the arms up, lifting up through your side ribs. Bringing your belly back towards your spine. Go up with the arms. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Exhale to bring the arms down, turn the palms towards you and release the hands all the way down. Now from there, get rid of your blanket, tuck your toes under and come up to standing. And just put the blanket to one side. You're going to come into half dog to the wall. So take your hands to your waist. Take your hands onto the wall at shoulder height. Spread your fingers, open your palms. The fingers are pointing upwards. And step back so that the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the outer edges of your mat and with each other. And push the wall away. You're creating a box shape with the wall on the floor. The top of your box gets longer and longer the more you push the wall away. The side of your box gets taller as you lift through the back of the legs and the front of the legs. Keep the ears in line with the upper arms. Don't drop the head down because everything then gets compressed. Keep the head in line with the upper arms and extend away. Bend the knees and step all the way up. From there, we're going to go into downward facing dog. So take your thumb and forefinger to the wall. You're going to use the wall as a lever. So take the thumb and the forefinger, these 2 points against the wall. Come into kneeling. Sitting back on the heels in forward virasana, taking the thumb and forefinger to the wall. Curl the buttocks back towards the heels. Come up onto all fours, tuck your toes under and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees slightly so that you can bring the upper thoracic in, away from the wall. This upper back area that gets stiff and tight and hard, bring it right in. Elongate the arms into the shoulder sockets. Press your thighs back to straighten your legs without allowing the spine to move back towards the wall. Keep the pressure through the arms, the length through the arms. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Press your thighs back into your hamstrings. Bend your knees to the floor. Forward Virasana. And inhale and come up. We're going to go up into half handstand. So measure your distance, feet to the wall, make an imaginary line behind the buttocks, turn around to place the heels of your hands on that line and spread your fingers, open your palms. So the action again is to push the floor away. This is a really important learning when you're kicking up into handstand. You need to sort of bring the element of courage into your heart to push the floor away. You're usually trying to get close to the floor for gravity to hold you close to the floor. And here you're doing the opposite. It takes courage. Step your feet up to the height of the hips. Straighten your knees. Lift the back of the thighs up towards the ceiling. Push the floor away. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Lift the back of the thighs. Push the floor away. Look back towards the wall. If this is too hard, take the feet higher. Otherwise, legs horizontal. And step down. When you come down, have the feet hip distance apart, hold onto the elbows and hang forwards. And from there, bring the hands onto the hips, inhale and come up. So you're going to try and kick up. There are a couple of different options here. Some of you can just kick and you'll step up. I'll show you. So have your hands about a finger's length away from the wall. Think which leg you're going to go up with, or feel which leg you're going to go up with. Bring your shoulders over the line of the wrist. Don't kick up from back here. Too hard to get up. Shoulders over the line of the wrists. For me, this is my easiest leg, the right one. So I'm going to lift my right leg up. Shoulders over the wrists. And then down. And then I'm going to lift my left leg up. And down. Walk the hands in. Fold the arms and hang forwards. Inhale to come up. So from there, I'd like you to come into forward Virasana with your heels or your toes against the wall. Forward Virasana like this. Then you're going to come onto all fours, tuck your toes under with the heels up the wall. Spread your fingers, press down through the base of each finger, elongate the arms up into the shoulders and push the chest back towards the upper thighs. As though you're pushing your mat forwards. That will bring your chest back. Now from there, bring your feet closer towards each other. Bend your left knee and step your right leg up the wall with the toes tucked under. Turn the right buttock away from the left buttock so that both of your buttock bones are parallel to the floor. One's not up this way. You turn it down. Deep inward, deep outward breath. You could then, if you can, don't overdo it, walk your hands in, bring your toenails onto the wall and slide the leg up. You can see here you're almost in handstand in this standing splits. Then from there, step your right foot down, walk your hands out and step your left foot up. Keep the toes tucked under. Turn the left buttock away from the right buttock. Lift your belly towards your spine. Then come onto the toenails of the left foot. Walk the hands in and slide the left leg up. And step down. And from there, step forwards. Feet hip distance apart and hang forwards. Raise your head up, raise your elbows up, push down through the legs to inhale and come up and release. Now, from there, you're basically going to jump off that bottom leg. So I've got my hands down a little way away from the wall. Here that leg is raised, just like I did a moment ago. And I'm just bending the knee and bouncing to come up. See if you can work with that. Try a few times. I know you get tired. The important thing is to push the floor away. If you push the floor away, you're already there, half there. If you sink down towards the floor because you're scared, you won't get up. Push the floor away. And just as you did a moment ago, taking one leg up, you just have to sort of lever yourself that way. That top leg takes you up. Yep. Give it a go. So going from shoulders over wrists, pushing the floor away, even if you can just experience a moment where both feet are off the wall. And I'll show you another couple of things. If you feel safer, if you feel like you need to press your head against something, put the bolster there. Yeah. So you can have the bolster there. And then you can take the hands on either side of the bolster. I feel the bolsters there. I'm less worried about my head against the wall. And once more, I can swing off that leg. You know, the bolster helps me get up. I can press my upper back against the bolster and I'm up. Pushing the floor away, sliding the heels up the wall. Really, I want to be as tall in my arms as I can. Now, from that tall place, start to come down. And that teaches you more about the balance. If your wrists are sore, rest the back of your hands on the floor if you can. You could always use the bolster or blocks to rest the back of the hands if you're tight through the hamstrings. So just a couple of things to practice, to try. Really the secret, I think, of getting into handstand is doing it every day. Yeah. Make sure you're somewhere safe, that you're not going to kick furniture and hurt yourselves. So one thing that I quite like is this idea of the scissoring, just to feel for a moment that both legs are off the floor at some moment. Oh, yeah. And you get higher and higher. So try that. If you can't get up, try that. If you can get up, go up again. So just both feet off the floor together. That's also a way just to feel it. And feel the moment of fear. There is a moment of fear when both of your feet are off the floor. Just feel it, name it, fear, there it is, and keep going. Yeah. The other thing is, once you've done that, you could do the ding dong method. I can't remember where I heard about this, but I quite liked it when I heard it. That you're not trying to get both feet to the wall. That feels a bit scary. Top leg straight and just ding. First of all, ding. And then you could go ding dong. Yeah. So again, it's a bit like scissoring, but you're just higher. So again, give that a go for a moment. The ding, just see if you can touch one heel to the wall, and then the ding dong, or just stay with the scissoring, see how it goes for you. And then when you've finished, again, you know, most of you, I think, have got blocks. If you're tight through the hamstrings, you could use your blocks this way, resting the wrist bones, or this way, resting the wrist bones, or then just, if you want, to the floor, having the back of the hands on the floor. And then bring the hands onto the hips, inhale and come up. I'd like you to have some sort of a chair or the back of a sofa or a kitchen bench. Not quite sure where you're doing this, but you can probably move your device around. I'm going to put my blanket there and take a block and a belt. So the reason I wanted to do this particular video for you is so that, you know, if you want to, you can practice this stuff every day and start to get a little bit of a handle on these poses that feel a bit scary. Yeah. Now, make that balance. I'm going to put my belt on above my elbows. And as I extend my hands out, I'd like the little finger side of my hand to be in line with the outer shoulder. That's how I measure my distance. Then the block is between the palms and I'm squeezing the block. When I squeeze the block, it keeps the deltoids, these muscles here, working, and it stops my elbows from sliding out. Because obviously, eventually you'll do this pose without the block and without the belt. Elbows to the back of the chair, rest, head down, palms pressing, and start to move the hips back away from the support. So just like you made a box shape before with the wall and the floor, here you're making a sort of oblong box shape with your torso, the chair and the floor. So lengthen the hips back so the top of that box becomes longer and longer and the armpits are really open. From the center of your armpits, lengthen back. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Now, if you're okay with this, you could start to take the block back, all the way back. And if you can touch the thumbs to the upper back. So you're really lengthening the upper arms forwards, biceps, triceps forwards. And then take the block up, bend the knees and step up. So you're starting to work with the movement of elbow balance that way. Let's put the chair to one side. And I'm going to get you to use this blanket. If you've got an extra mat, you could do that. But let's use a blanket because we've got it. So I'm going to fold that blanket into two on its long edge, so it looks like that. And I want the blanket to be underneath my elbows. If this is all too complex, forget about the blanket, but it can really help you get up. The belt is around my elbows, fingertips to the wall, hands squeezing. So it really is underneath my elbows, not so much underneath the whole forearm. From there, I'm going to lift up. So once more, you can extend one leg up, press the wrist bones down, press the forearms down, extend back through the right leg and down. Take the left leg up, wrist bones down, extend through the left leg and down and release. So you can either stay with that, it's the same scissor action or the ding dong action. Remember, it's not as far to go because you've got your forearms down. So this part, you don't have to jump. And it is actually much easier to get up. The important thing with forearm balance is that the head is not touching the block and the head is sort of back, if you like. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm here, I'm squeezing the block with my palms, lift the head up, hips up, head up. This is the leg that's going to take me up. I just bounce off that bottom leg and I'm up. Now notice that my head is off the floor. Squeeze the hands into the block, lift from your back waist to your heels, so you don't feel it in the lower back. Lift the buttocks to the heels. Try it. Try whichever one you're going to do, either one leg, then the other leg, or walking in, kicking up, whichever one you want to do. Work that way. When you've had enough, take the belt off, move the blanket, and come into forward Virasana. And inhale and come up. All right, come up to standing. We're going to do some standing poses from the wall. Have a couple of blocks handy in case you need them. We can start with the outer left foot to the wall and step out with the right foot, so you have a leg length between your feet. And the whole outer edge of your left foot is to the wall. I'll demonstrate it from this angle and then from the other angle. Turn the whole right leg out 90 degrees, so work with me. Right heel in line with the center of your back foot. Raise your arms. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation as you reach out to the right. Bring your right hand down. Bring your left hand onto your waist. Press your right buttock forwards. Lift and turn your left shoulder back. Take your head back, your shoulders back, and extend the top arm up to the vertical. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Draw the right leg up into the hip socket. Press into your back foot, inhale and come up. Turn the feet to the center and step the feet back to Tadasana. Turn around to the other side. So I can show this angle. I mean, you're all familiar with anyway. Hold outer edge of your right foot to the wall, step the left foot out. Left heel in line with the center of your back foot. Raise the arms. Inhale as you exhale, reach out towards the left. Bring the left hand down. Press the left buttock forwards. Turn the left waist forwards and have a look. Is your torso in line with your left leg? And if it is, then turn and extend the top arm towards the ceiling. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Press into your back foot, inhale and come up. Turn the feet to the center and step back. Tadasana. Big toes touching, inner heels touching. Roll your shoulders back. Extend the fingertips down. Deep inward, deep outward breath. Take a moment. Warrior two. Take the outer edge of the left foot to the wall. Step the right foot out. Have a wider distance between your feet this time, more than a leg length. Turn the whole right leg out 90 degrees with the right heel in line with the center of your back foot. Raise your arms, deep inhalation, deep exhalation as you bend the right knee towards the right angle. Keep the left leg reaching back strongly. Press the outer edge of your left foot to the wall. Look straight ahead of you. And out of the corners of your eye, you can see, is the right arm dropped, lifted, whatever. Left arm the same. Inhale to come up. Turn the feet to the center. Step back. And again, I'll demonstrate from this angle. Outer edge of your right foot to the wall. Step the left foot out. Turn the whole left leg out 90 degrees. With the left heel in line with the center of your back foot. Raise the arms. Once more, you're looking straight ahead here. Inhale as you exhale, bend the left knee, sit the left buttock down, press the left knee, the inner knee to the outer knee. So don't let the knee drop in this way. Press the inner knee to the outer knee and extend. Can I see both my arms? Yeah, that one's shoulder height. That one's a bit higher, isn't it? Might take that down. So just see if you can see where your arms are in space. Inhale to come up, turn the feet to the center and step back to Tadasana. And roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. One last standing pose. So you're going to separate your feet so that they're wide. Outer edges of your feet parallel with the outer edges of the mat. Press into the outer edges of your feet. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. Take your head back. Exhale to fold forwards. Place your hands underneath the line of your shoulders. You might be on your fingertips. You might have your hands flat. Look forwards with your chest. Press your front thighs back to keep your hips in line with your ankles. By this I mean you're not sitting back here, nor are you sitting forwards. Have a look. You can see that your legs are sort of like a pyramid. And then lengthen forwards from the pubis to the navel, from the navel to the collarbones. Lift your belly, bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale and come up. And step your feet back to Tadasana. We're going to do a preparation for headstand, and then from there we'll lie down towards Shavasana. So you've got 2 blocks, something good to practice over the next, what have we got, 4 or 5 weeks. Take your blocks this way. I can show you here. Obviously, they're going to be against the wall. One is on its highest height, and you're going to take its narrow edge close to the wall. The other one is on its second height, and you've got a little bit of a lip there. Now, usually I'd use the blocks in a different formation. Usually for headstand, when we use blocks, we use 3, but most of you won't have 3 blocks. So this works actually. So you can see my first block is off the wall. There's a space between the wall and that lower block. And with this top block, I've got a little bit of a lip there. I'm going to clasp my fingers. I'm not going to hold really tightly. I don't want my knuckles to be white. I'm going to clasp and softly rest my fingers on the back of my hands. My thumbs can touch, and the ball of the hand is open, or the heel of the hand is open. I'm making sort of a bowl of my hand. And the hands clasped, fingers clasped just behind that block. And I'm going to take the crown of my head to the floor and have the back of my head against the block. So I can feel that the back of my head is vertical there. That's a nice way to use it to check that the back of the head is vertical. Then I'm going to walk in so that this upper block is pressing my upper back in. And I can feel the back of my head against that vertical block. Now, those of you who've got neck issues, you don't need to have the head on the floor. Keep the head off the floor. Now, if you've got arthritis in the neck or other neck issues, bulging discs, you really don't want to have pressure through the neck. So you can do this quite safely with the head off the floor. You know, my head's not on the floor. Have a look. Those of you who do headstand and for whom this isn't an issue, you could lengthen the head down and have the head to the floor and keep the shoulders lifted. We're just going to do a preparation today. We're not actually going to go up. Just another couple of breaths there. Lifting up through the back of the legs. And then bend the knees to the floor. By the way, if you've got really tight in your hamstrings, keep the knees bent. If it's really difficult, keep the knees bent and have the feet wider. Yeah. So So from there, you're going to come into Shavasana. Make it really simple. Have a block underneath the head. Extend the legs out. Palms facing up towards the ceiling. Of course, you could have a bolster underneath the knees. You could have a rolled blanket underneath the knees. Close the eyes. Soften the upper eyelids down towards the lower eyelids. Soften the forehead. The skin across the forehead, soften and broaden. Soften the skin on the cheeks. The upper lip, the lower lip soften, the chin soft. Soften the skin at the front of the throat. And then bend up the elbows, place the hands on the navel band. Bend up your knees and place your feet to the floor. Raise your right arm and roll over onto your right side to rest your left arm. And then inhale to bring yourselves up to sitting. Come to sitting cross-legged. Bring the palms of the hands together to the center of the forehead and the heart. Bow the head to the heart, to the wisdom and compassion within. And release your hands down. Thank you, everyone.